This exhibition is a selection of work from the photographer Shirley Baker. During the 60s she was making photographs in Salford and Greater Manchester. The bigger part of her work was in that Northern England town. And what Shirley has managed to do is to capture a time when communities were beginning to wonder if they were going to be staying together. So they really are pictures of communities in transition.
Mum got into photography at a very early age. An uncle gave her and her sister a box brownie camera when they were just 8 or 10 years old. And her sister discarded hers very quickly, and Mum never put hers down. At school, Mum was head of the Photographic Society. She then went on to study photography at Manchester Technical College and had a formal training. And even when first engaged to my dad, she took off to London to do various courses, one in printing and one in medical photography. And it just became an addiction, really. She wouldn't even go to the supermarket without a camera in her handbag, or a camera bag in those days, because the cameras were so big with a selection of very large lenses. Mum stumbled across the street by accident. I think she was passing by one day and she'd heard about the post-war demolition that was taking place, and she stopped the car and walked back and to take a look. And she took some pictures and then for some reason became compelled to go back day after day to take more and more pictures. In fact, year after year, because she took pictures of the same streets throughout the 60s and early 70s.
She was photographing at a time when improvements were being made in very substandard working accommodation, and that accommodation was being ripped down and people were being rehoused. And what Shirley has managed to do is to capture a time when communities were beginning to wonder if they were going to be staying together. So they really are pictures of communities in transition.
I think it's a trip back down memory lane for a lot of people. It reminds people of a lost past. Mum used to say that whilst other photographers were busy photographing the rich and the famous, she preferred the trivia of daily life and preferred just wandering on her own around the streets, and often was taken by maybe graffiti or peeling paint in nice colours and little patterns on the wallpaper, and she'd stop and photograph that, and inevitably a person would walk into the frame, and the shot with the person in it was inevitably the best.
The 100 Heroines organisation, which we're lucky enough to have their base locally, have made some calls for responses for young photographers to make work which was influenced by Shirley's photographs. And some of the results of that work is hanging in the second gallery here tonight, and they are terrific. So she's still an inspiration to young photographers.